Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play the Final Fantasy Legend 3 for the Nintendo Game Boy. Last episode, Wedgie, Brizzy, Bubbles, and Gilda ventured into the underground. They talked with the Dwells, a race of like giants that live underground here. And they learned that there's a treasure over here in these twin towers. So the gimmick of these towers is there's going to be this button that reverses gravity. So it's kind of almost like four towers. You got the towers that are 1 and 2 regularly, and then you have them when you switch gravity, so you're like kind of walking on the ceiling. So we're getting all the treasures, of course, so just follow along. Got some new enemies in here. There's a passageway that takes you between like Tower 1 and Tower 2, or A and B, and in that passageway there's enemies that can only be encountered in there. I mean, they've been encountered in future dungeons, but in terms of this dungeon, they can only be encountered there. So I'm going to farm them in the middle there, so... But we'll just take care of these enemies here real quick. So... Once again, our instant death spells like Stone Gaze, Fatal, they're all going to be really good against these characters. Stoned 4 of the 5, so... Well, Stone 3 of them and Fatal the other one, but basically the same thing, you know, instant death takes care of a lot of these enemies. So, there we go, finish them off. We got some money. Alright, we're going to clear basically the A tower first, then we're going to stop in here before we go to the B tower. And it doesn't matter which tower you start on, like left or right. You're always going to start off in like the A tower. So, and we're going to just take out these guys here. Once again, the lizard guy in the middle is kind of annoying because they have that O damage, which means that they don't take half damage from regular weapons. Luckily, that doesn't count for the Mystic Swords, so we can get around that by using the Mystic Swords, and we can get around it by using Stone Gaze, and some of our new magics that we got. The White Magic hits everybody, Quake hits everybody, we already got that one before. So yeah, Magma's like the Quake spell, but it only targets like a single character or a single group, so it's debatable whether it's actually better or not. It does more damage, like per like if it did like a single group. But overall, the White's probably just a little bit better if you're looking for a good multi-targeting. And then of course, Nuke is the best. We'll be saving our MP for that. Another group down, and now that we farmed those enemies in here, we don't have to worry about them, so we can just head into the next tower. Look. Alright, stepping on that button will reverse the gravity and kind of flip things around, so we'll be like walking on the ceiling. But before we do that, we want to head up to the top here and get another crystal. And we got some other new enemies here. Let's take them out. Millimeter cannon type enemies. Once again, they're always weak to Quake, so you can use the Magma on them if you got the Magma, or just have Dion use his Quake spell. Or you can always, of course, just use instant death. But those enemies, if you go the robot path and continue on, they're like the second to last robots which you can get. The levels are 29 and 30, and then 31 and above, you turn into the robot that looks like the lady type. They have an interesting ability at the end called Dance. It's sort of like the Dispel ability, where it deals damage, but it has a chance to cause instant death. So if you're like, playing with robots, and you're not keeping them at the mouse robot like how I am there with Wedgie, Dance is a really good ability that the end robots come with. So it's just like that Dispel, but it can cause the instant death. Alright, so let's go back down, and we're going to flip this button. Now everything just reverses itself, and we're kind of like on the ceiling, I guess. And taking out some other enemies, the Deimos. They're probably the most dangerous because they have that Dispel ability that I was talking about. So, you might want to just focus on them with your Stone Gaze or your Stone. We have all those multi-targeting spells that work, so... That should take care of the one in the upper left. And the other guys are kind of just generic. The problem with all those abilities that you have like 6 arms and stuff like that, they don't ever do like full damage, so it's not like you're getting 6 hits of, you know, full damage. They usually just do a percentage, usually like half. So they're not as good or as deadly sounding as they are. So I got hit 6 times and think, wow, that would like really hurt us. But like I said, not every single one of those is hitting at full strength. So I guess that's the way the game balances it a little bit. So both for you and them. And we got some cyborg parts here. It doesn't matter what element now, because we are level 29 and 30, so it doesn't matter. Anytime we install Shogun, anytime we install parts, doesn't matter what element, we'll get a robot Shogun, and they have that Dispel ability, so that's pretty good. And then once you hit level 31, any cyborg parts we install will turn our character into removed. And that's the top cyborg of all elements. So pretty much once we turn Bwizzy into the removed cyborg, if we ever get any other cyborg parts, we can just install them, and it'll automatically just give him fill up some of his hit points. So robots are like that too. At level 31 and above, any robot part you install will just turn you into Venus. And so, like, you would just, any robot part you get, you just install anyway, and that would just restore your hit points. But we're not going to do that with robots, because, like I said, we want to keep Wedgie as the little cute little mouse there, so. But Bwizzy, of course, like I said, he'll gain, once he gets to level 31, he'll automatically always be a removed cyborg, which is the top cyborg. So feel free to install any cyborg parts there. The monsters and the beasts, though, are going to be different because, you know, there's 2 different forms in each of them. The monsters, there's the Sirayu form or the Garuda form, and then beasts have the Anubis and the Ashima form. So we're going to clear out this part of the tower, head to the top, and then head to the bottom. You can get treasures at each of those locations. And there's the crystal. That's another part of the items that we need to transform the crystal, the katana, and the emblem into the Emperor's sword. So once we clear this out, we're going to head back into the first tower, the Tower A, and we're going to flip the gravity again, and we're going to head to the bottom. Now, we could have done this before we headed to the second tower and then just used exit to get out, but if we do it this way, we don't have to waste the magic on exit, because it just takes us to the exit. And then we've cleared out those 2 towers, and we're going to morph here, and we're going to head back and talk with that guard that said that no one could pass up to the goat area. Now, because we talked with the boss in the last episode of the Dwelg village, he said that, hey, we told them that we need reinforcements because there's humans down here, and he said, we'll get the guard up at the north. So that is the sequence trigger to have that guy leave, and that allows us to head into this area, the goat area. And there's a little town here. I want to talk with all the folks in here. They're all monsters. Agon is in the ruins to the east. Do you have the Mystic Swords? Yeah, he's a tough monster. He's really only weak to Mystic Swords. So now, because we have that barrier, we can't use the remote to call the Talon, which really stinks because we want to go back to the Talon to get all the Mystic Swords. We have 2 right now. We have the third one, the Mirasame, but that's coast, and we want to uncoast that. Zago's castle is in Mount Goat. And the last piece of the Emperor's Sword we're going to get right in here. Zago made the water entity. I've seen that family before somewhere. It's the family from Final Fantasy Legend 2, who we saw in another town earlier. We're going to make sure that we have a space in our inventory. Because if we have a space in our inventory and we talk with them, they will give us the katana. You need the Mystic Sword to defeat Agron. Agron is guarding the barrier machine. Are you looking for the Mystic Treasure? Yes. Find any? I found katana. We need it to defend our world from the monsters. Alright, thank you. And then he tells us that people used to call him Captain. So if you go back and look at my playthrough of Final Fantasy Legend 2, you'll see that family there at the end. So, Captain is the father, and then the son and the mother. In my playthrough, the son was Linus. He was a rat. A very brave rat, which was fitting because, you know, being the hero. So I'm just gonna get rid of some stuff here. And then, we're going to, like I said, we're going to do some backtracking through the underground so we can get to the Talon, so we can get the 4 Mystic Swords, and we can start combining some of those light and dark crystals together to get some stuff. There's 9 light crystals, 9 dark crystals. So the best things to make are the speed shields, which are really good, and the armlets, which are a really good accessory. The armlets can be used to cast the fatal spell. So I'm just going to fast forward my way going through this underground here. And I get really, really lucky that I don't get any random encounters. Yeah, sometimes the random encounter table is weird. Sometimes you're like when we were flying the Talon, we were getting like random encounters like every few steps. Here we managed to go through the entire underground without getting any encounters, so that was nice. We're gonna have to use our remote to summon the Talon, even though we left the Talon here. So we have a lot of stuff to do here in the Talon to prepare for that upcoming dungeon, the Eastern Runes. First thing, we're going to have Massa uncurse the Mirasame to make the Masmune. That is the second strongest Mystic Sword. We'll be giving that to Gilda. Then after we talk with him again, he can take those 3 treasures and make the Emperor's Sword, which is the only sword that, it's weaker than the other swords. The only sword is stronger than is the Durin Sword. So we'll give the Emperor's Sword now to Brizzy. And the Emperor's Sword we're not really, I mean the Durin Sword we're not even going to use. We could give it to Bubbles, but Bubbles is a monster, so I'm not going to, you know, monsters can't use it, so. And even when we turn, if in the bonus episode we may not even use it when we turn everyone back into their regular class. Because we're going to give her the Wall Staff. That's where we push that Wall Staff. And the Wall Staff gives +5 to magic, so we're basically going to be working to make the magic the best. So 3 light and 1 dark makes the speed shield. We'll make 2 of them, because we want to save some light crystals to be able to make these armlets, which are like a really good accessory. Second best accessory, other than the ribbon, which basically gives you the all status. Now I'm going to just free up some inventory. I'm going to change Bubbles here back into a beast. That way we can equip some inventory. And then it doesn't matter then whatever meat I eat, because at level 31 I'll switch between the Sirayu and Garudas. And I want to show both of those monsters off. Garuda is more like a physical monster, Sirayu is more of a magical monster. But I just want to clear up some inventory and put all this equipment on. So like when I do the bonus episode and have everybody's back at their like base class, their human and mutant class, they will have full gear. So just getting rid of some stuff here. Clearing up some inventory. Like I said, it doesn't matter now what monster meat I eat, because I'll get either one of those 2 classes once I hit level 31. Right now I can get either, if I eat earth or air meat, I'd get a Hydra. If I eat water or fire meat, I'd get a Kraken. So let's give the speed shields to the characters who can use them the most, which would be Gilda and Brizzy, because they still get some status from them, where we already got hit the max defense with Wedgie being all the robot parts. And Bubbles, when she turns back into a monster, you know, she just has the innate abilities, so... Let's sell some stuff here. We still gotta find that medal, and once we get the medal, then we can come back to Juba here, and he will make the Aegis shield, and that's the shield that'll end up going on to Gilda. Then we can transfer the speed shield to somebody else, and Wedgie will end up just getting a samurai shield here that we can buy off Juba. And we can pass down some of the one of the shields, either the ice or the cold shield, to Dion. He still doesn't have a shield, but I knew I'd be you know, passing one down to him, so didn't have to really worry about buying him one. Now, speaking of just buying equipment, the only other equipment I'd like to buy is another Hecate helmet and the Hermes shoes. I'll wait for you here. Good luck. Yeah, Faye and Dr. Quasar are hanging out back here in the engine room. I'll take care of the engine. Oh, thank you kindly. And the only reason I want to buy those pieces of equipment is because the character is going to take over the slot for Dion. Originally, Dion doesn't have a whole bunch of equipment to include the helmet and shield. Now, the other stuff we'll be able to buy at the Talon here, so we don't have to worry about it. Speaking of Talon, we can now put on the E-Ray, which is the strongest weapon. So, put that on, and does good damage. Like, so you can farm with that some of the weaker monsters in the area. The E-Ray takes care of them right away. So you can just fly around and not even pay attention to the game. Gain some levels. So here we are back in the underground. We're going to just head back to... Since we don't have to go through this whole area, we can just head to the left and sneak out real quick. I'm just checking all my character's equipment, making sure, checking my notes, making sure we're set up pretty good. And get everything in the right areas. Luckily we don't have to transform anymore because this guy is gone. And we are back to the goat area. I'm gonna just sell some stuff here. I said the best thing to have, we want to get some, but next thing we want to max out our soft potions, our elixirs, and maybe your tents too, and then eventually we want to max out the magics. That'll be preparation for before the final dungeon. But before we have that final dungeon, we have the Eastern Runes, which, as the name implies, are off to the east. So I'm just going to make a quick save here, a quick stop at the inn. Heal ourselves up because this dungeon coming up does not have a bunch of healing points in it. Luckily, the final two dungeons, or dungeon and a half, do, so we don't have to worry about that. But come back in the next episode, we head to the Eastern Runes and see if we can take down that barrier machine. Have a good day. Bye.